The member for Grey has a call.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Environment and Energy. I raise again the issue of electricity because South Australia is in such a state of crisis. Will the minister outline to the House the action the government is taking to responsibly integrate renewable energy into the market while still ensuring energy security and affordability for hard-working Australians? How would an alternative approach jeopardise energy security and affordability?
The Minister for Energy and the Environment.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I thank the member for Grey for his question and note that last night he made a very passionate speech in this place about the high prices in South Australia, the instability that was having a terrible impact on Olympic Dam, on the Nyrstar smelter, on Arium and also the Abalone farm, which has seen their electricity prices go up by 90% in his electorate in the last 12 months alone. Now, Mr Speaker, our #1 energy policy priority is energy security. And our #1 challenge in getting energy security is ensuring the smooth integration of intermittent sources of power, wind and solar, into the grid. And that's why we have charged Australia's chief scientist, Dr Alan Finkel, to come up with a blueprint for reform, to tell us how we can do it better. We've also invested record amounts in storage, and the Prime Minister's talked about pumped hydro, and we're also looking to create new markets for the frequency control and ancillary services and inertia that is normally provided by baseload power, which the market needs to stabilise. But I'm asked, am I aware of any alternative approaches? Now, we know that this morning, the Leader of the Opposition was embarrassed when on AM for 4 times he couldn't answer the question how much his renewable energy target would cost and what would be the burden on consumers. Now, you would think that was the first time he'd heard that question. But if you go back to the 22nd of July 2015, when he announced this policy, he was asked 4 times as well, how much would his policy cost? This is what he had to say. How are you going to pay for this was the question. Well, the rest of the world's already moving on renewable energy. So the question came, but sure, Mr Shorten, how are you going to pay for it? I hear your question, but I'm just going to go to the issue which is to the heart of it, Mr Speaker. Then he was asked again, but you complained about a carbon price. They said it was going to put up costs. What about your policy? Oh, well, it won't do that at all, Mr Speaker. And then fourth, what sort of savings for households does your modelling show that this will bring forward? Mr Shorten. Well, we think it's important that a political party is upfront with the Australian people. Now, Mr Speaker, that was the policy. But of course, not everyone in the opposition got the memo. Not everyone in the opposition got the memo, which we wouldn't talk about the cost, because the poor member for Cowan last night in this place got up and said Labor's election policy of 50% renewable energy by 2030, wait for it, she said would require, wait for it, $48 billion, Mr Speaker! $48 billion! She's bailed the cat. She's bailed the cat. She said what the Leader of the Opposition was not prepared to say. She's told the truth. $5,000 for every Australian household, $2,000 for every Australian man, woman and child. That's the cost of your policy, which has gone MIA at the Press Club, and that's the cost of your policy to Australian homes.